Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Rem, and in today's video I'm actually going to talk about how we can have a routine and we can stick to it. I know that for myself it was one of the biggest problems for myself, because I would always find some new habits that I wanted to stick on, but I wouldn't do them constantly and consistently, and then I would feel bad about myself and I would think like, oh, I can't do that, I cannot work out, and I cannot eat healthy, or I cannot study consistently. So then I would like, oh, I'm not going to do that, as simple as that. And then it would create, like, it's a cycle. Once you have bad habits, or once you're not doing the good habits, your life is going to evolve into a wrong direction, or like not wrong, but into a direction that does not make you feel fulfilled. So in today's video I'm going to talk about that. And I'm not going to say like, oh my god, do these things for 40 days and you will stick with these habits for the rest of your life, because it's not true. What I'm always doing, like, number one thing that I want to mention in this video is go step by step. Please, if you want to have a routine, if you want to implement good habits in your life, please go step by step, because otherwise, forget it. Like, I'm serious about it. Forget it. It's not going to happen. It's not important how motivated you are. It's not important how disciplined you are. These habits are new in your life, and with new things in our lives, we are like strange things or new habits in our life. Our mind is always like, okay, I need to be careful with this because I'm not used to it. It's just because we go out of our comfort zones and our mind doesn't feel safe. So we have to take time, and we have to do that for a certain amount of time so that we can implement a new habit, and then a new habit, and so on, so that we have this perfect life that we want to have, right? I hope that you understand what I'm talking about. So let's talk about the things that I have listed here in my journal. So number one is, think to yourself, which type of habits do you want to implement in your life? I know that this sounds silly, but stick with me. We see so many different things. We see so many different habits, so many different successful people that are successful in completely different areas in life, right? Like, for instance, there's someone who is a rocket scientist, and there's another person who is a finance pro, and there's another person who is a farmer. So you cannot think that someone who's a farmer is going to have the same life and the same routine that a finance pro does and that a rocket scientist does. It doesn't make sense, because that's not their life, that's not their lifestyle. So our brain gets overwhelmed with the information we get on social media, because the videos are super short and there's so much of content that we get overwhelmed, right? So think to yourself, okay, how does my life look like? Okay, this is my life. I did it here in this way. I'm not going to show you, but in the end of my journal, I wrote down, I and my husband, we wrote down how our life looks like right now. Like, what do we do, at what time do we wake up, and what do we eat, and what is our life looking like. And we wrote down the good habits, the bad habits, and also the habits that we want to implement in our life. I would not say bad habits, but I would actually say like the habits that we dislike, that we want to either get rid of or minimize, because to be honest, we are not machines and life is a whole. So yeah, keep that in mind. The second thing that we did is we wrote down our perfect life. We wrote down 2 different days, a day when we are working and also another day where we have an off day. So we would see like, okay, these are the things that we want to do, and these really make me feel good and would make me feel good, but I'm not there yet. And that's not a problem, because we are humans and we are always processing, we are always developing, and some things just take time. 2 years ago, I wouldn't even dream to have the life that I'm living right now. I'm honest. I would not even dream of that, because I thought that this is so far away. I thought maybe 5 years. It will take 5 years to have the life that I have right now, but it took me just 2 years. It's good, but on other things, maybe it takes longer, and on some things it takes forever, maybe, but it's okay, it's fine, it's your journey, it's your way, okay, it's your time. So, then we actually wrote down, I'm talking so much, sorry. Then we wrote down the things that we want to implement in our lives, and we listed them, like, how can we do that? Okay, so the next thing is we started connecting new and good habits that we want to have with the good habits that we feel good about, like that we feel fulfilled about, that we have right now in our lives. Like I would always brush my teeth, and 4 years ago I didn't do my skincare properly, right? I did that sometimes, and on other days I didn't. So I would place my skincare products next to my dental products, that I would always see them like in the morning and in the evening, and then I would do that, like I would do my skincare. As simple as that. And also, like, the same thing goes with taking supplements. I really want to take supplements because I had some problems, and I would place my supplements next to my water bottle, that I would see that in the morning and I would take them. So yeah, these are some good habits that I had, like drinking water, or like taking care of my dental, like of my teeth and my mouth. And then I would do the other good habit that makes me feel even better, you know? So that's very easy, and you can like look, how is my lifestyle, how does my life look like, and like at what time do I wake up, and what things do I have to do. So like if you're a mother, I'm not expecting, like no one can tell you go and do 20 new habits every single day. It's not possible, it's not realistic, you know? But if you implement one habit that makes you actually feel good, not for the sake of telling other people, oh, I'm doing this habit, you know, like no one cares. Sorry, but no one cares. It's your life in the end. So yeah, do that for you. Next thing is, think about, is there an easier way, or is there a more effective way? Most of the time there is. So for instance, in my case, I was studying a few years ago, and I'm still studying right now, but when I was studying a few years ago, I would always take my notes on paper, okay? So I would write down every single thing at uni, and then I would go home, and then I would study there some more, and I would write everything on paper, okay? So now what changed is I have a laptop, and now I have a tablet. So back then I also had a laptop, but not a tablet. And then I would be like, okay, I'm totally going to ignore the fact that I have a laptop, just because I am not 100% sure about how to use that, because I felt insecure. And then I was writing down everything, like pages of pages of pages on paper. And sometimes like you spill tea or coffee, or I don't know, something happens to these papers and your notes are gone, okay? It's really nice. It's a really, really motivating feeling. So now what I'm doing is I'm using Notion. It's that platform that most of the people actually use for habit tracking, as a calendar, to-do list, whatsoever. I'm also doing that, but Notion is such a big platform. And this is not an advertisement, they're not sponsoring me or something, but I really, really love this app, or like the website, because it's so effective. It changed my studying level, really. It changed the game so much. Now I have that on my phone, okay? I have that on my laptop, I have that on my tablet. So let's say I am going somewhere, and then I am thinking about a topic that I have learned in my class, right? I can just take my phone and look at it, and there is the answer, okay? Or you can study if you want to, okay? Like, let's say you're not getting sick when you're riding a car or a train, and you ride a lot. Like when I'm visiting my parents, I'm going by train, and it takes like 2 hours sometimes. So I have my phone with me, and then I read these things and I study them, kind of, okay? It's not like studying intensely, but it's just having the access to that. And this is so much faster than studying on paper, because you have to carry so many things with you when you are studying on paper and taking your notes on paper, rather than just doing this way. It's so much easier for me, right? So now I can stick to this habit, and now it's fun for me. Now I can like create nice templates on Notion, and if I find a video about the topic, I can link that to it. You cannot do these things on your, like on paper, of course you cannot, you know? So now it's so much easier for me to study on Notion and like take my notes on Notion. and if I have to do some exercises, I'm doing them on my tablet. So now it's actually fun for me to study these topics. These are the tips that I had on my list, and I hope that this video was helpful for you. I know that I didn't say like the typical things of how to stick to routine, because I think we all heard enough of that, and there's enough of content on the internet saying like, oh my god, do this and that and this and that, and like giving you actually some things that are unrealistic for your life, or like that's just suitable for a certain person, or like certain type of person, like someone who maybe has a lot of time, who is working from home, or who is not working at all because they have another income where they have a big passive income or something like that, okay? But here I'm actually talking about people who go and work, who wake up in the morning, go to uni, go to work, do this and that, and want to still want to implement these nice and good habits in their life. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If so, then please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a comment, because I rarely get comments since I'm new on YouTube, and I would really be grateful for that. So until next time, see you!